Hello students, I'm going to touch upon a very important subject today, which is on library staff competencies. Now, this is a very important area, and as all of you will, complete your certificate course, then your BDBSc course, MDBSc course, or MPhil, and then PhD, and some other courses and all, slowly you will see that there is a change in the competencies taking place. Now, in a library information center, you need to have a very strong competency building for carrying out this entire thing, because there are a lot of work is involved in these contexts. So I'll take it up one by one. Like, one of the skills and knowledge needed, the library environment within which library execute their core mission has changed dramatically now, because you can see a lot of ICT technology has come in. So there's a lot of technological breakthrough has taken place. The use of electronic information and related technologies has become indispensable in the delivery of library services. Users are adapting to a new and ever-changing digital information environment to provide innovative value-added services and to meet the evolving needs. New areas of expertise are developing. These considerations make it clear that the professional librarians must adapt to the changing information environment and build the skills and knowledge accordingly. They need to develop core competencies in three broad areas. Now, this is very important. You need to understand three broad core competency areas, and we will be discussing more on these areas: information technology, librarianship, and organization management. So please remember, I'm repeating once again: information and communication technologies, librarianship, and organization management, so that they can play a very important role and fulfill their responsibility to the expectations of the user client. Now, what do you mean by core competency? We need to understand this word core competency. Core competencies are defined as combination of skills and knowledge in such domains of knowledge as are important for organizational success, personal performance, and career development. Professional librarians need to possess certain personal competencies to work effectively and contribute positively to their organizations, users, and profession. Personal competencies range from being strong communicators to demonstrating value addition of their contributors to remaining flexible and positive in an ever-changing environment. Mixed competencies for library professionals. In today's context, what you need is just a mix of competencies from each category. And what are these mixed competencies? So it is not one, but we are talking of many more competencies. Like, for example, some traditional librarianship skills, some value-adding skills, some level of familiarity with the information technology, some generic skills, some of the attitudes and traits, and some domain knowledge. So these are some of the very important components which are required. Traditional librarianship skills are still relevant, especially their knowledge of information sources and searching, collection, development, information organization for storage and retrieval of information is required. But to remain relevant and effective in contemporary IT-dominated environment, professional librarians need to be broad-based, to know a little of everything. They also need to be an expert in a smaller number of areas. So these are some of the important components of mixed competencies for a library professionals. There are a set of competency changes with the organization also. Okay, like for example, one needs different set of competencies for different types of information jobs in different environments. Information professionals working in corporate organizations and corporate libraries will probably need more value-adding skills, entrepreneurial skills, and domain knowledge. Let us take an example of our organization, TERI, or Tata Consultancy Service. We are involved more on doing a large number of research projects. So we have different dimensions. We are entrepreneurial in getting the projects from the market, but we also provide project-based assistance or research project-based assistance to our researchers also. So the entire work profile or the core competency of the people who are working in TERI is completely different. Same in the case of Tata Consultancy Service. They do a large number of projects for different multinational and bilateral organizations, different governments and all, and big, MNCs, they are doing it. So they need a lot of value addition skills, lot of entrepreneurial skills, business acumen skills. Those kind of skills would be required. And in fact, such kind of qualification is also required for them. So professionals working in academic libraries probably acquire more technology skills as well as traditional skills. Public librarians may need more social and community building skills. As the work environment can change rapidly, information professionals need to assess periodically which new skills they need to acquire, which current skills need to be strengthened. However, because of the individual's educational background, aptitude and personality, it may be difficult for him or her to acquire certain types of competencies. Now let us look at, like we have discussed about the three of them. Now let us look at the IT competencies needed for library staff. So the technology, if I look at, so he has an advanced understanding and knowledge of hardware and software concepts in computers and networks, network equipments and peripheral devices. He can apply expertise for system administration, network administration and security. He can apply software programs that perform basic computer and local area network functions. One of the important components is demonstrable skills and knowledge. That is your hardware, internet, operating system, software applications, networking and security and server administration. And let me tell you friends, these knowledge are extremely important for an LIS professionals when you are working in a a medium-sized organization or a special library you are working, or a bigger system setup you are working. You need to have such kind of a knowledge, and it gives you a lot of added advantage even to excel in yourself. Internet knowledge, advanced understanding of the protocols, structure, organization and various web tools that make up the internet. Demonstrable skills and knowledge, like what are the different how do you search an internet and all? What are the web tools which are available? What are the email applications which are available? What are the web design and developmental tools are there? What are the web markup languages, like how you will design a HTML and all? So these are the kinds of skills and knowledge are very much required in current context. Like for example, like in Terry, I have my teams who basically designs the different kinds of like for example, we provide a service. Now that service is provided using a front page or some kind of a WordPress. We are using it to develop such kind of a thing, or maybe a SharePoint we are using, or different kinds of Microsoft Office products we are using, where we design a different kinds of HTML based pages, and we provide a different kinds of customized services to our users. So these kinds of knowledge on information technology is very important for an LIS professionals. Then the library systems and IT infrastructure, that is also an important for as a part of the core competence. Advanced understanding of the system that supports automated library functions, including e-resources management, user interfaces, library information services, learning tools, integration of information technology in libraries for appropriate changes. Demonstrable skills and knowledge which is required, like for example, library management system. What are the different kinds of LMS or the content management system you have? Whether you are using Joomla, Drupal, what kind of SharePoint, what are the kind of CMS you are using? Library management software which you are using, Lipsys, Koha, Alice for Windows, Libman, IGNOU, several of them. Digital library platforms. What are the different kinds of digital library platforms? DSpace, your GSDL, what are the kinds of them are available? Digital library architectures, digital archiving and preservations. What are the different kinds of, different kinds of even scanners? Nowadays, like for example, 3D printing machines are there. So you need to have a knowledge on those areas. Electronic resource management system, software applications, database development and management system, office tools, imaging tools and technologies, technical and quality standards, and cloud-based library systems, new emerging technology. So all these informations are extremely vital for a LIS professionals to understand. As a LIS professionals, one other important component is IT planning and policies. Now this is a very, very important, because since you are not going to only do the library planning and policies, but you also need to do the information communication technology planning also you have to do. So a lot of planning and policies would be required, and this is always in demand in the current context. Advanced knowledge and understanding of current and emerging trends in IT. Because there is a lot of obsolescence takes place. Because maybe after you have implemented some system, probably after 3 years or so, you find that the entire system is obsolete. So you have to go and roll out to some other system. So you need to have what are the emerging technologies which are coming up. And to use this background to write IT policies, IT plans, lot of training programs, and infusion in the libraries also. Like create and evaluate and implement library policies for computer, internet, wireless usage, and technology disaster. It's very important because a lot of because it is completely data driven. And suppose tomorrow you lose all your data or your circulation data or something, then you are gone forever. So it is what are the type of disaster you have to look after. Develop and maintain a library technology plan, including a computer replacement plan in the context of emerging technologies. Develop and implementation programs for staff training in technologies. These are also very important in those cases. So developing and implementing programs for staff training, because if you are bringing in new technologies and all, so the line people in the line of your people in the different departments and all, they may not be aware of or maybe knowledgeable to handle those technologies. So you have to completely, you do a lot of training programs for them also. Now there are 3 more components I have added as far as the TERI example is concerned. One is a data management plan. You need to have a data management plan. You need to have a backup management plan, because you are dealing with large amount of data which is generated from the systems. So you have to have a backup management plan. And another is a disaster risk management plan. Disaster risk management plan is required. Suppose, for example, under any eventuality, if you lose the data, so where is that backup? How do you retrieve that entire data if such kind of eventuality happens? So that kind of a disaster risk management plan is also taken care of. And we have a similar kind of a thing in our TERI also. Another next section which we have done with the IT competency now is the librarianship competency. Collection, development, and management. Advanced knowledge of understanding the current and emerging concepts, issues, and methods related to the selection, acquisition, and management of resources in all formats. The person can provide a leadership and strategic direction in the transition from print to electronic acquisition models, and also leadership in collaboration activities. Demonstrable skills and knowledge like knowledge of information sources, life cycle management of electronic resources, needs of users, group purchasing models like methods, then analyzing the pricing patterns, licensing agreements, for example, liabilities, warranties, perpetual access, embargoes, permitted uses, cancellations, user statistics, user access authentication technologies, user interfaces for e-access, consortia agreements, and vendor negotiations. Now, all these things are very, very important as far as the library, a professional who has got a leadership and a strategic directions in this context. Information organization and retrieval, like advanced knowledge and understanding of information systems for information retrieval, resource discovery, resource description, open access scholarly indexing, personal information management protocols, and social tagging. So demonstrable skills and knowledge that is required, principles of information organization, classification, taxonomies and ontologies, cataloging, bibliographic descriptions and metadata, indexing and information systems and workflows. And all of them, this information organization and retrieval is a very, very important component as far as the entire information resource management is concerned. It is very much important on those contexts. Information and user services. Knowledge and understanding of the user service principles and techniques to provide user access to information analytical and packaged information service, where basically the repackaging of information takes place in those contexts. Design and organize the online reference service. So demonstrable skills and knowledge like database searching, federated search, online search aids, assistive and adaptive technology service, online reference inquiries, information literacy, computer literacy, and statistical literacy, user services promotion skills. So these are very, very important component as far as the information and the user services are concerned. Because unless and until you provide all these services in one particular platter to the users, there you will not be expecting any kind of user satisfaction. So you need to have an expertise on these areas, and for that, a very core competency of handling the information and user service is the most important thing in those contexts. Another important component as far as for the library information science is concerned, the research and the user studies, the knowledge and understanding of conducting research studies, writing and editing the research reports and papers in the field of library and information science. In fact, in Terry, we had a very strong backbone on these areas. And we, every, now and then we conduct lot of programs, lot of, literacy program, lot of training programs, lot of orientation programs we conduct so that a research and user studies takes place on these areas. So we have demonstrable and skills and knowledge like quantitative and qualitative research methods, literature survey to discover central findings of the field, skills to assess the actual and potential value of research, knowledge of professional issues, trends and professional development, and then technical writings and all. Then very important components of knowledge of organization. See, it is extremely important as an LIS professional, you should be knowing where you are working. So the knowledge of the organization is a very knowledge and understanding of the organization is very important. So you should be knowing its vision, mission, objectives, mandate. It should be all very clear to you. So demonstrable will like commitment to the organization's missions, its services and the materials it provides. Understand and accepts his or her role in accomplishing the branch or department priorities, adheres to the policies, principles, standards, methods, procedure, rules, laws, and regulations. Guidelines of the organization in the working context, applies policies and procedures fairly, and supports the organization goals and policies. Then comes your management competencies needed for library staff. So first is your leadership. Be a leader and give advice, dare to think and make decisions, provide vision and guidance to your library staff. Contribute effective strategies to library services and resources. Set effective leadership to teams, directions and goals for the team accurately and appropriately. Have astuteness and wit to tackle problems. Be thoughtful, reliable, persuasive, such as the others will willingly follow one's lead, and be a good model in terms of the responsibility. Some of the important, leadership skills which are required and like communication and interpersonal skills. Vision, establishing a direction for the organization, for the direction of the organization to the users. Collaborative leadership, team leadership, innovation, change management skills, overcoming the obstacles, mentoring skills, motivational skills, and the critical thinking skills. Now, these are in current context is an extremely important characteristics on an attribute of a thoughtful leader in our profession. Another important component is communication, ability to communicate and exchange information correctly, perceive and understand the users, ability to negotiate, be a good listener and use the language correctly. How you do an articulation, that's an itself is an art. Demonstrable and skills and knowledge, teaching and group presentation skills, writing skill, grant proposal writing skills. In fact, in Terry, we had a very strong bandwagon of communication team where we basically, we do such kind of programs on a regular basis, and we, sharpen the skills of the professionals on these areas. Teamwork, ability to work with others, build reliability, encourage unity and good relationships. Make the team to achieve the goals by encouraging freedom of thinking, accepting individual differences, exchanging knowledge, sharing responsibilities and jobs. So demonstrable skills and knowledge which is required like conflict management skills, change management skills, interpersonal communication skills, and motivational skills with the team members. So you are one of the important component of the entire team. You are one of the important pillar of your entire team. So it has to be. And another important component I would like to mention here is please keep a complete transparency with your team members. It's very important. Organization management. which is the another important component, is the knowledge and understanding of new management principles and theories appropriate for the libraries, like management of organization and human resource, financial management, office management, promotion and marketing management, services and resources development, project management and leadership, collaboration and partnership development, strategic management for building cooperation among libraries, networking and participation of stakeholders, and then the legal issues. So, personal attributes, vision, adaptability, flexibility, and eagerness of new experiences and knowledge. Employee-centric, risk-taking, multicultural awareness, commitment to the profession, integrity, creativity, self-awareness, ambition, tenacity, previous experience, accountability, personal responsibility, personal energy, delegation, self-confidence, emotional intelligence, and diplomacy. These are the attributes of a library information science professional as an individual. As an individual. So before we end, so some of the important points we need to remember. To remain relevant in the changing information environment and to fulfill their roles and responsibilities to the expectation of users, clientele, professional librarians need to develop core competencies in library technologies, management of library resources and services, and leadership and organization management, which we have discussed in detail. One needs different sets of competencies for different types of jobs in different information professionals working in corporate organizations and in corporate libraries will need more value-adding skills, entrepreneurial skills, and domain knowledge. Professionals working in academic libraries probably require more traditional skills. Public librarians may need more social and community building skills. So with that, I come to an end of this particular important component. I am sure all of you must have understood the entire concept of this particular the library information staff core competency. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.